Anybody got anything? Thank you, Sheena. Anything? Is anybody in contract for anything to sell or buy? No one?
I think I'm on the same page as Ben, is coming back from a 6-month being away. So yeah,
Yeah.
just rebuilding everything
Oh yeah.
and building that momentum back up.
Yeah. Hi, Annabelle. Are
Hi,
you in Maui?
I am, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So are you just starting like just day one right now?
Pretty much. Well, day 2 maybe. But yeah, I took the last 6 months off, kind of just doing my family stuff, and then now I'm ready to get back on it. But I was with New Wealth Advisors, and Joel and I did a flip out here in Maui, and then yeah, just kind of took my
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be with them in Riverside this coming weekend. Not this weekend, but
Oh,
next weekend. Yeah.
nice. Is it another RPP?
No, actually, this is our Rise Up kind of events that we've been having in different markets. We have one in Tampa, Vegas, and then this one's in Riverside. I think the last one's gonna be in Hawaii. So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, we'll see the New Wealth fam.
Say hi to
Well,
them
okay,
for
so
me.
you gotta get the momentum back then, huh?
Yep, yep.
Are you looking for just out here in Hawaii or also in different markets?
Well, we got into like commercial apartments, multifamily out in Alaska. Got into contract under one there, but the way they move is just extremely slow, and it made us really anxious to be in contract and lose our deposit when the seller wasn't really actually trying to sell his property. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll just pick up back here and then expand out to multifamily again later.
Where in Alaska were you buying?
It was Anchorage.
Nice. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
actually know Anchorage real well.
oh yeah.
You know,
What side of town were you buying it in?
Gosh. To be
Mountain
honest, I
View?
don't. It was next to like a military, like a newly built military shopping mall and all that stuff.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I just remember. But
I have a pretty good idea where it's at.
yeah, it was, and it was an assumable VA loan at like 2% interest. So like it was a stealing deal, but there was just like that communication barrier that we had the entire escrow. And they actually we got out of contract maybe 3 months ago, and they just sent us the cancellation to sign, like that we canceled escrow. So I was like, man, what is going on up there?
well, we closed our first loan in Alaska recently too, yeah, Alex,
Yeah,
and that was same thing. Title, there was issues, right? Was it
Yeah,
title?
Title was slow. Everything was just kind of a
they're
little.
really laid back over there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they're on island time, but they just don't realize they're not an island. So they take island time and they add a little bit of the cold and no sunlight. So sun comes out summertime, everybody's MIA.
Yep.
What do they do during the winter? Like, do they just not do construction or
There's no construction in the winter unless
no? Like
unless they've
zero.
already done the foundation. If they've already done the foundation, then they'll enclose and they'll do a tent dome, and then they just pump it full of hot air to do the work. But they only do that if it's like a very expensive build or something that they're on a strict timeline. But majority of this construction stops in the winter unless the building's enclosed already.
Wow. So what do like the builders do out there during the winter? They get another job?
They work really hard in the summer and they enjoy the winter off. Like all the people that do construction, they
Mhm.
don't work the winter, they just play.
Yeah, family
Yeah.
bonding time, that's what it is.
Yeah. Everyone has cabins and they go snow machining and skiing, cross country skiing. That's pretty much it. Or they travel here to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, snowbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I've never seen this tent. over, it must be massive then, if you're building a house. Like
Well,
when
if-
they paint, because you
Imagine
can't
like
paint,
imagine like, you know, when they tent a house here to do, what is it, pesticides or like the chemical for, you know, when they're spraying and stuff like that, when they tent a house like that, kind of same thing. But more so like, not so, the material's not as rigid. It's more like, you know, like the cellophane, like a giant cellophane wrap. And they wrap it over it, and then they take those air trunks, the air heaters, and they just blow it full of hot air, and it blows up the tent, and it keeps it warm in there so they can build.
wow. Yeah, I
Add
gotta
that
see
to
it.
the construction cost.
Yeah,
lot.
exactly, right,
Yeah, because you have that air heater blowing, you know,
right,
probably 18 hours a day because they start it up before they get there to work, and then they keep it going a little bit. So especially if they're doing anything that needs to dry or seal, right? If they're doing any grout or doing any of that kind of stuff, they got to keep it going.
Mm.
yeah. Is that in other like states that get like really cold, like Ben, like, have you seen that in Washington?
No, we don't
Ah.
get that much. I mean, if you're on the mountains, maybe, but then there's not that much construction over there.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Washington gets pretty, it can get pretty cold too, like with snow and everything. So in the winter though, from what I recall, it doesn't stop, right?
No, no, it's not that cold or not that snowy here.
Right, yeah,
Like unless you're literally on a mountain.
yeah,
Like if you think about a lot of stuff too, is the main reason that it stops is the foundations, and you can't dig because the permafrost is frozen. So there's no way to like tie in, you know, water, sewer. You're not doing any manholes, like, so you pretty much get stuck right there if you don't have the foundation and all the horizontal work done.
yeah. Yeah, that's what we forget, like, because sometimes even in those markets, like, it's different, you know, like Hawaii, we have jealousy windows, we have single wall construction, you know,
Mhm.
like, if you have jealousy windows in the winter in Alaska, like, you'll die, you know, like, you need double wall, right? So, but Hawaii is just different market. Just like when we went to Seattle, like it took a while just to understand some of the construction, like, you know, chimneys, like how much does it cost to get rid of it, or what's the process to that, and how much I know nothing about that, you know. It's like we don't need to. And then basements too, right? There's a lot of that going on in the mainland where we don't really have much experience with basements. So it's learning something all the time, whether it's out in the field or, you know, behind the desk, right? This game like kind of never ends, the learning side. But does anybody else have anything? Needs, good deeds, any deals they have under contract right now? I know Kalaya's over here with a bunch of deals. All right, well, if anything does come up, guys, just always just drop it in the chat, or feel free to unmute, no shame. We're just talking story again today, but I actually haven't looked at the market in like probably a week already, you know, across from different areas. So I'm actually a little, I feel, out of tune. Before it's like you could check in every now and then, once a week, once, you know, maybe even a month, when the market's kind of consistent and stable and not volatile. And then, but I feel like the last 3 years, you have to almost check it daily, you know, like, okay, what's rates doing? Where's supply? Where's demand? You know, what markets are kind of holding, what markets are not. I feel like it's been like the last 3 years constantly watching it. And then I just realized, I haven't been checking in, I guess. So I'm kind of at a loss. I mean, does anybody have within the last week anything that they're seeing in their markets slowing down or, you know, speeding up? I know there are some markets that's kind of catching traction, which is odd. I'm also noticing some stores with less supply on the shelves.
So we're
Um,
actually,
Yeah,
I
there's not.
actually have a closing on the 10th for a burnt down house. I listed it, I didn't invest in it, but because we have nothing out here, we got above asking and we listed it like 80,000 more than we comped it for. So I guess Maui, yeah, so we're still definitely low on inventory, and as soon as something comes up in the 400,000, 500,000 range, like people are still trying to grab it up and compete for it.
Wow. And is that mainly like fixers or is it?
Yeah,
fixers?
I list mostly distressed properties, but this one was burned down, owned by the bank, somebody bought it and then resold it for a lot. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So when you say burnt down, like, is it like burnt down, or is it
Burned down, yeah.
so it's just land right now? Just
Land and hollow tile. And
Oh.
all the rubbish with it.
wow. So you're basically bought land then.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And you're gonna close in 10 days. So far, so good.
We close on the 10th. So we're,
Oh, 3
3
days.
days from now. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Eh,
That's awesome. Is it I'm assuming it's cash buyer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Well, at least like because even on the sales side, the volume's down, right? And I think I mentioned this a couple of calls earlier, a couple weeks ago, but the realtors who understand the benefit of having an investor client base they're the smart ones, I feel, because like you, Annabelle, because that's repeat business, right? So I never understood. I think like some realtors just fall into they just want to sell the high-end luxury properties or commercial, and but yeah, you can sell those, but you're gonna sell one every, I don't know, so many years, right? And so you need a lot of those clients, whereas you can have a couple really solid investor clients who know what they're doing, and you represent them on the buy and the sell, hopefully, right? And that's multiple repeat business. And real estate sales is high ticket commissions. Every sale is thousands of dollars, right? Especially in Hawaii. So just like the position that we're in on the private lending side is, it's high ticket commissions with repeat, it's on repeat and it's with volume. It doesn't get much better than that. So the realtors who get repeat business because they align themselves with the right investors who are actively buying and selling, like they get it. That's my opinion. And then you're in the crossfires, right? So you can jump in on opportunity whenever it arises, like you already have, right? I don't know. I don't think it sounds like it's not gonna be too hard for you to get momentum back after the last 6 months.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep us updated. Yeah, we definitely want to track everyone's journey,
If you do anything in Alaska, let me know. I want to go play. I'll come up there.
Well, now that I know you, maybe
Yeah,
we will.
I'll fly up there with you. We can go. I have contacts. I got contractors. I know a lot of people up there. So,
All right, I got my list still.
and I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like Anchorage is a good place because for cash flow, because the cost isn't as high. Like, you're buying $300,000-$400,000 properties and people are easily paying $2,500 to, $5,000 for rent. No problem. Because when I was living there, I was paying for a 4-bedroom house. I think I was paying like $3,500. And then I bought a 4-bedroom house and my mortgage was I think 22, the market's changed a little bit, but it's all oil and gas for the most part. So
there's a lot of money out there.
yeah, there's a lot of money. And
I
rents
wonder, the volume is probably less than Honolulu.
way less. Way less.
Way less?
We only got 400,000 people in the whole state.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
The whole state?
It's
400,000.
definitely smaller volume. There's probably a lot more people that transitional come through there because the oil field probably has 100,000 people up there working, but probably 80% of them don't actually live in the state. They're just commuters.
So that's actually important to know, like what type of market you're playing in, right? Are you in a primary market, secondary market, tertiary market? a transient market, like this sounds like that's kind of transient if it's seasonal, like with
Anchorage is
hundreds
the
of
hub. So Anchorage wouldn't get much of the transit people, like they would all go and work on the oil rigs. There's not really oil rigs in Anchorage, but as far as like office people and stuff, when companies ramp up there, they're based out of Anchorage majority of the time.
Yeah. Again, another interesting market. Do we have any other deals in Alaska in the pipeline right now?
We have one right now, another ground up construction in Girdwood for Ernesto.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. He's brave, like I don't know if I'd venture into a new market like Alaska. It's like I don't understand the climate, like the market yet. But
Girdwood's a special little pocket though. I mean, there's only 3 mountains in the world you can ski down and look at the ocean, and that's one of them. So like as far as a ski town goes, like it's world-class skiing, snowboarding. You have like probably some of the best heli skiing in the world right there. And
what
then
is that?
heli skiing is where they take you up in a helicopter and they just drop you right on top of the mountain and then let you go. And then they pick you up at the bottom of the mountain and then they take you to another one. So all you do all day is just, fresh runs. But yeah, and then it has a super nice resort there. So like that little pocket is, that's like a Turtle Bay. Imagine a Turtle Bay with like a ski slope, for Hawaii, or a wave pool, and everyone wanted to go there and check it out. Like that's what that little area is like. It's beautiful.
So if there's only 400,000 people in Alaska, roughly, give or take, like they all must live in Anchorage then, or just a few cities, right? Otherwise, you'll never see anyone out there.
Anchorage is by far the biggest city, without a doubt. Fairbanks, there's Anchorage, Fairbanks are the two biggest. Juneau's the capital, but it's an island. And the reason it's the capital is because of where its location is. It's a lot quicker to get down to the mainland. So that's why they made Juneau the capital. Smaller for sure. But I mean, there's a lot of small places in Alaska, 2,000, 3,000 people, maybe 500, like villages. There's still villages in Alaska all over the place. But Anchorage is the main city.
Is there an investor community out there? Like, do we know of any?
I wouldn't say like ours, not like this. There's not that I know of. I mean, I have some friends that all invest in Alaska, but nothing to the level that we do here as far as like co-working and communication and helping each other.
Yeah, I haven't seen any either. But the property manager, I guess from what I've gathered from all the people that I've connected there, is like everybody's just kind of connected
Yes.
within Anchorage. So like a property manager that's an investor knows other investors, and like they have, it's just like they have like their own kind of community out there.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
There's the Coconut Wireless in Alaska too, but it's quicker.
Yeah, I can imagine if 400,000 people only, like that number is still blowing my mind. We gotta fact check that one.
I might even be overestimating, bro.
No way.
Let me ask Bard real quick.
Go ask Bard. We gotta bring Bard in. Have you guys tried Bard? Bard is unreal. So Bard is Google's AI. Yeah. I think apparently like they've been sitting on it for a long time, and they actually killed the project because like I guess there was things that got them concerned while going through the project. Like I think it was either Google or Facebook where like they had the AI project. This is years ago. Oh, Sheena just sent the.
Oh, I'm off. 733,583.
Yeah, that's what Sheena said.
But Anchorage is just 287,000.
I think is Honolulu 1 million people or something like that? I don't know Honolulu's population, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, 730 still I feel is low for the amount of land there is. But what was we just talking about earlier? I just got sidetracked. Oh, now I'm getting more stats from Sheena. Oh, we got the fact check. Oh, we're talking about Bard. So I think it was either Google or Facebook that killed their project because like the two systems started like talking to each other in their own language that they couldn't understand. So I think they killed it. And then I think when ChatGPT came out from OpenAI, it seemed like Google wasn't gonna compete. And then when they got the partnership with Microsoft, which Microsoft I think kind of basically controls OpenAI now, but I think when that deal happened, then they unleashed Bard. That's just what I've been hearing on podcasts and stuff, so I have no idea. But Bard is like it has real-time information, whereas ChatGPT is like up until September 2021 or something like that. So I've been testing both. I don't know if you guys played with some of these AI apps and these chatbots and right, Matt? Yeah. Some of it's unreal. Like it's kind of creepy. But what's your thoughts, Matt?
What's up, everybody? It's exciting and scary at the same time is what I think the overall consensus is in the AI community. I follow it pretty closely. And my advice to everybody is just try things. Just try it. ChatGPT does have plugins that allow for, actually, they just stopped it like yesterday, but they had Bing access where you could get real-time information. The problem you come to with having real-time information is that there's a lot of, there
Right.
could be a lot of issues with the misinformation, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not sure how I feel about it's a lot of fun being able to scrape sites and get information. I mean, data is ridiculous. The stuff that you can build right now. I'm just learning what all of this community is about. I still have a lot to learn. I have only made a couple of these, but anyways, there could be enormous tools that you guys could utilize. And we have the ability to build them right now with all these tools. Like I'm not a coder, but I've been able to build like user interfaces and stuff and like start coding. Like I don't know what I'm doing. It's pretty cool. So even if you have no idea about it, I suggest trying out some things. Maybe ChatGPT is the first spot because that's free, or Bard or whatever. They're all fantastic.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I appreciate the insight. And we had like Aiden has been fooling around with it, and like some of the guys, and they built like they're like upgrading our spreadsheets and all of our calculators, like formula. Like before, we would have had to hire like somebody and maybe pay like $1,000 or something to just build out a simple piece of software that can maybe automate or systematize, one task. Now you can kind of do that on your own, and you can even prompt the AI to teach you like how would I create my like own software utilizing AI, and like kind of get the instructional before you even, try to build it from AI. So yeah, I agree with it. I feel the same way. It's like it's exciting because the technology is just unreal, and but it's also kind of scary because yeah, I could see how this can go wrong in many ways. Just the fact that like they even have like those deep fakes now, right, where like the AI, they can mimic the voice and tonality and even like video, right? It's coming, like you can't really tell now. I think that's gonna be a big problem. Like how do we regulate that? So usually you want, like guys like us, we were against regulation, but I think this time regulation is necessary, so, but
Yeah, just to add on to that, if I could, sorry to jump in, but
no, absolutely.
yeah, I agree with you completely. I got to this space actually because of my footprint and running across on the decentralized side, so blockchain side of things. That's how I originally saw your spaces and got in here a long time ago. I'm very much, I have trust issues with, even though I work for a bank and I love American Savings, we're fantastic, and I want to guide people the best way I can. Got to be
Right.
careful. But I also I have trust issues with finance and centralized control of finance. These are things, as far as AI is concerned, the smartest AI people understand that, hey, look, we have to make sure we have this reeled in a bit. This has gotta be on some kind of centralized networks. It's different, I think, than the control of reserve currency and things like that. But so I agree with you. I think it's something that a lot of people understand, that look, we can't just let this just run wild and people just go nuts. We gotta understand where things are coming from. Also, the new creator economy and being able to make sure that we have good global rails for people to be able to make money and to be able to transact for whatever you're trying to raise money for, whatever you're trying to sell, these kinds of things. When AI comes into play, we need to be able to source what tools are being used. We need, and that opens up lots of avenues for people to make money and be productive. So all of that together does need to be on some networks that can be viewed and somewhat controlled.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I agree. I want to hear, if you don't mind sharing, Matt, and if you can, a little bit background, who you who you are and stuff, because like I agree a lot of what you say, and you're starting to like the writers are striking in Hollywood, right? Is that still going on because of AI, right? I think it was writers in Hollywood were on strike, one of the unions, and because I guess AI has been, being used for script writing, and now are they irrelevant? Yeah. But I know that was an issue. There is another one where AI is already disrupting. I forget. But Matt, do you mind giving a brief intro of who you are if you have a moment? It looks like you're at the desk.
It's all good. It's all good. It's good. I'm learning. Every day is just about learning and talking to people and trying to broaden the game, and yeah, understand more. So my name's Matt Piney. I'm a residential loan officer with American Savings Bank, but I've been in the loan business for about 16 years. I was an assistant to the top mortgage officer in all of Hawaii for about 5 years. And so I've been on the level where I know what, the high volume, real high volume is like, and working in that atmosphere. I took a break post COVID because I wanted to dive deeper into the blockchain space, because I have a problem with fractional reserve systems. I have issues with central points of failure when it comes to global reserve currency. I have trust issues.
Yeah.
So I believe that when I found out about blockchain and whatnot, I realized that, hey, look, here's a way, and it's not perfect, and there's a lot to learn and a lot of mistakes being made and have been made, but here's a way to mitigate that trust a bit and mitigate some counterparty risk, which opens up. And then with having global networks, this opens up, enormous possibilities for people in underprivileged areas all around. And it's a deep technology. Anyways, I took about 1.5 years off and was just like, my heart was there. And I was like, I want to dive in. And I was at the top of the mortgage game at that point when I left too. So it wasn't easy. I took a leap. I'm
Yeah,
paying
because
for
that
it
was
a
the
little
peak
bit.
of probably the refi boom, right? Like if
Yeah, it
you
was.
like 2021, 2020 was like peak of the
Yeah.
refi boom, 0 interest rates. Like that was the time you wanted to be a mortgage broker, right? Like now, not so
Yep.
much. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little different now, but
I probably would change my timing a bit, a little.
right.
How I did things, hindsight. But so I'm paying attention to, and I'm wanting to learn in this space more of what you guys are doing, and just kind of learning from everybody, because there's a lot going on, a lot of creatives out there, a lot of different creative financing. American Savings Bank, we're opening up tons of different financing options that can be good for investors. But I think that there's a lot of different ways. So I just keep my finger on the pulse of all that. And I'm very deep into the blockchain and the AI space, how that crossroads has come together. And I find a lot of efficiencies in these tools being made that a lot of people could use. You know, like you said with your Excel, like it's all being implemented. You almost say most people don't even have to just let it come to you. It's going to. And
Yeah.
I mean, the people that aren't using these tools are, yeah, I suggest you just get in there and get your hands dirty. You know, that's what I'm doing, and I don't understand most of it, but I'm like, all right, let's try this. Let's try this. See what happens. And yeah, so
Yeah, I think at the very least, we should all like play around with it so that we can have at least a basic understanding of what the technology does and what it can do, so that you can have a basic level conversation, you know, because you gotta start somewhere, because this will penetrate, I feel, all sectors, and it will be, you know, amongst our lives. I think it's not going anywhere. I think the technology is just too powerful. It can advance us in so many ways, you know, as well as, you know, hurt us. But I think what I always look at when there's potential disruption is like, what can I control, right? And I can control at least how much I dedicate towards learning it and trying to understand it, even though that might be, you know, a hard task. Even people who've dedicated their lives to AI, you know, are still figuring it out. They don't even know what the damages that could be done, which is the scary part. But I think at the very least, I think we owe it to ourselves, the people that we're leading, our investors, to be kept aware of it, and if not, implement it, you know, try to be on the right side of it. So we've Alex and Dela, we have mentorship from a man named Mark Filler, who he used to own Jordan Capital, which is a private lending company. He ended up selling it to Blackstone, which then it became Finance of America. And he moved on to buying other private lending companies. And so Alex and I were kind of keeping our eyes out for other companies that might be primed for an acquisition or like somewhat of a merger, you know, with Mark. And we asked him, you know, what are the major things that you look for in a company before you look to buy? And he said, I believe it was the process. But one that stood out to me, I think there was like 4. And one that stood out to me was technology. I just wasn't expecting that for some reason. He said that's one of the main things, technology. And Alex and I we didn't dive in too much deeper and asking like, what about technology? Like is a CRM or, you know, this, that. I think he just meant in general, like what type of technology you want to be at the cutting edge, right? So if it wasn't for Mark kind of putting that, you know, planting that little seed into our brains, I don't think we would have dove in and invested in AI ourselves, because we utilize AI within our company now. We're about, when did we start, Alex? January?
I would say January is when we got signed up. I'd say it probably went live like mid-February.
Yeah. Yeah, it took a while to onboard. So what the AI does is it helps with outbound sales outreach. So, and it'll kind of warm a lead up and then pass it or tag you when it's appointment set or a call has been scheduled for more information. Then the sales team comes in to close, right? So if it wasn't for Mark kind of putting that into our brain, I don't think I would have been open to sitting down with our buddy Sam to hear about his technology that he has access to, that he has distribution rights and licensing rights for. But since, you know, he did, then I was kind of open to it, looked at it, and was just kind of amazed. And now it's like, I feel it's one of our, as our other mentor Leonard would say, secret sauce. You got to have the secret sauce. You know, like business is business, but like you can structure it the same. You know, it's not too hard to figure out. Doesn't matter what business it is. It's kind of same structure. But what's the secret sauce? You know, you need something extra. Is it the culture? Is it, you know, the product is superior? You know, and if it's none of that, then perhaps it's within the technology that you're utilizing. right? So it is very powerful technology. And I know this because now we're a, testimonial for Sam. And I think everybody should be having conversations with him, so if you guys are interested, it's not cheap. It's like, I think it's like $5,000 a month now. But if you have a direct way to utilize the AI, whether it's with follow-ups, outbound sales, or whatever, like I think it's worth listening to what they got, or so if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out. Like we'll share Sam's info. Maybe we should have Sam on. That'll be great to talk about.
100%, we should do that.
I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, I think he'd be great. And every business that has a Salesforce, which is pretty much every business, should be entertaining the technology for sure. Does anybody know what I'm talking about, or is this all kind of like artificial intelligence? Anybody utilizing it right now?
I use AI to create my website and it came out awesome.
Man, I've seen people do that too. What platform did you use? WordPress, Dante?
No,
Wix?
it was a AI website where no, it was a website through GoDaddy or something like that, but I just used the AI for copy and paste and stuff. So I just copied it and copied another website and pasted, and they did it there. I just pasted on the GoDaddy and they did it.
Wow. So you had to prompt it though to build a site, like I want 6 tabs on the top.
No, you just go to like a website and it copies it, and you can and it changed like the wordings and everything.
Oh,
I'll find the website and I can let you know. But yeah, there's a website where you put the website in and you can just edit like the pictures and the words. But what I did is I copied the words, I pasted on like a website. There's a website where they just change the words and you can just change the pictures and that's it.
do you know the site? Can you drop it in the chat?
Yeah,
if you
I
can
can-
find
I'll-
it, but if not, it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
good.
I'll find it. I'll
Yeah.
try and find it. I'll put it on the chat right now.
Yeah. I mean, what is that going to do for web developers? What about the people who spent thousands of dollars for their degree and now like their job is immediately like irrelevant? Like, because you
And
can just
I think so. The lawsuit you was talking about earlier was the music industry. The music industry is trying to sue the voice people right now because people are making music with all these artists' voice.
whoa. Yeah, that's big. I'm pretty sure it was screenwriters too, though.
I think everybody, man, anyone that's content creators, they're at risk, but at the same time, I think it's all perception too and how they perceive it. Because now a content creator who actually is good, think about the prompts that they can put in, and like they could just utilize AI to make 100 more scripts, and they increase their odds of getting something picked up so much faster. And then just like this website, imagine a website designer, if they go in there and they prompt it and get it dialed, it'll probably be even more special, and it just saves them way more time. I think it's, instead of being scared of the advancements, it's, like we talked about, learning how to utilize them and then get really good at it to where now you're the interface, like they're talking about, like Neuralink. Like that's the advantage of AI, is getting to the point where we interface with it now, so it is an extension of our minds, and then we can utilize that.
Yeah.
People, sorry.
Go ahead, Dante.
People are creating ebooks. So anybody that creates like, content creators, you can make AI create your ebook for you. So you can give it to people for free.
Yeah, you can just have an ebook like written for you. Like that's insane. I mean, like I see how like jobs can shift. Like we'll adapt, but there's no, I think just the difference between how many people will actually lose their jobs and how many people will actually be able to adapt to provide enough value where they can be that person, you know, who's behind the AI prompts and stuff. There still be, I think, a need for that. Like I was just talking to the team about like, oh, what is the websites where you can prompt AI to like do images for you, like digital art, you know, because I've had like this series of images in my mind that I'm just waiting for the right digital artist to bring it to life for me. And I couldn't, it's been years that I've been searching, and maybe it's just got to do it with the AI. But I think, and I tried it and it got close, but it's just not quite there. I think the last bit is gonna be me having to hire an artist to get it exactly the way I see it in my mind, you know, like, so I think Alex is right. There's always gonna be that extra necessary, I feel. I hope so. You know, I hope a little bit we're still relevant. But like I think overall AI is a deflationary thing, you know, like, so it might be either perfect or worse timing to have it, you know, kind of being ready to go to market and go to scale when inflation is kind of high and we're trying to figure out how do we stop this thing, and the only answer is raising interest rates. It's like, can that be the only answer? You know, maybe it is AI to save the day. Unfortunately, people will lose jobs, you know, businesses will become irrelevant, but that's disruption. You know, that's the tech world. It's like disruption every year, almost, new technology, and you just have to adapt, right? So it's so interesting. I'm watching. But Matt, I had a question for you real quick about blockchain. Do you ever see them integrating it on a large scale, like almost requiring it for title? Because I think it'll be so much more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a title company, I'm seeing this one. I'm at least have an eye, you know, going, you know, I could see a large scale network that, again, blockchain has the ability to eliminate, or I should say mitigate, counterparty risk. So that's huge, because that's what kind of an escrow company does. As far as the records, deeds, all these things, yes. Yeah, this is like kind of perfect for blockchain with the while it's integrated with other technologies. So I'm very cognizant that it's definitely not, you don't do everything on the blockchain. You use it for what it's needed for. And again, mitigating the counterparty risk, but documentation, having all that, it's a good place to have it for sure. Yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, because I thought I heard talks about it like a few years ago when, you know, blockchain was again hot, you know, and it gets hot and cold for like every four years or something, you know. Like,
yeah,
that's a.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just curious. So you guys are all private lending is a big part of you know, private lending to get investment to invest in properties, right? And flip properties and do whatnot. Is there I could see, because one of the big things in the blockchain industry is decentralized finance. I don't know if you've looked at that at all, but you know, there's these automated markets that people can participate in, which I've been doing for years. And so it's, you know, buying and selling assets, and you don't have, it's all built with the code at the center. And so like I'd be remiss if I'm not like wondering if somebody has been talking about having kind of automated markets for you know, buying and selling and getting investing and stuff like that. Like that seems like to me could be an enormous direction or opportunity for
Absolutely.
private lending, for any lending, because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it's peer-to-peer lending with decentralized finance. And again, I want to say I'm at American Savings Bank and we have amazing products, and I do want to help your clients. So I'm not just, but I like to talk about these things. It's important to have these conversations to see how we can all get better together and kind of grow and learn. So
yeah. Well, thank you too. And it means even more so that, you know, you work with ASB, because you're in it every day, right? And so your words are louder, I feel, and carry more weight than most. But for like decentralized finance, like I think it could be super powerful too. I'm just wondering, like, because Alex and I are looking at this deal in it's in the Dominican Republic, and the reason is because of the sponsor. The sponsor is, well reputable person. He's a developer already, but they want to go a different route. They want to raise through the blockchain and through their community that he already has. He's the founder and CEO of the company called Secret. They're a cosmetic company. It's like the Dead Sea Salt. They're one of the first skincare. He has an amazing story and he's an amazing guy. And Alex and I had the honor to like sit in on meetings with him. They want to partner with us on this deal. And Alex, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more, but the platform that you guys were meeting on, is that kind of similar?
Who wants to do it? They want to do it on the blockchain and then register with the SEC so we can take investments in through blockchain, but it's still secured by the US and by the regulatories here. But we're looking to do like 3 million to start as the first round. But
that's the equity raise, right?
Yeah, that's the equity raise. The whole goal is to do the entire project on blockchain.
Yeah.
And not use any centralized banking systems.
He'll still go forward, but the first option is to put it to show proof of concept. And the way he already has like thousands of like people who follow him who are within his company, right? It's a network marketing company. Oh, you got to see his videos online. Like if we can post some out, his story is amazing. And it's like they didn't want to go into network marketing because they were selling at the kiosks. They had kiosks all over, right? And Alex can probably tell you the story better because he knows Isaac better than me. But what I got from the story was that they had one girl who was outperforming by far all other sales, reps and kiosks across the nation that they had. And so they brought her in to ask her like, what, how can we be more like you? And, what are you doing differently? And she actually said that you guys should be a network marketing company. Like you should, and she was like 19 or something at the time. And Isaac, I remember he was saying like, oh man, he's like, what, network marketing? You're like, well, we could bring her here, she's talking about MLM and pyramid scheme and all that. And then what credit to him is he took those words, even from a 19-year-old, who's a sales rep in his company, took her, her words to heart. They looked at it, they did research, they kind of did some studies, and then they did find that it would be a lot more profitable if they switched models. And so they did. And ever since then, like the company has grown exponentially. Now he has like thousands of, people in his company, across the world. And so he has this community, which he refers to as his community. And he's building this hotel for the community. He's creating like a travel line for the community. So he gets it. Something that took me a little longer in my career to understand, but what he gets is the power of social capital, where like your relationships is like currency. In fact, it's more valuable than actual currency, because it'll pay you over and over again as long as it's maintained, throughout your life or the span of that relationship, right? So he understands like it's not really in the product you're selling, or the service you're selling, the business you're running, it's the people, whether it's your clients or the people that even work within your business. That's a big lesson I took away from Isaac. And there's so many lessons to take away from a man like him. And as Alex, I don't know if you have any words on Isaac, but I'm still pulling out lessons when we think back and if we have meetings with him, from the way he speaks, the way he carries himself and talks about his company and his people. It's always together. It's never me, like my company or none of that, not even like slightest in that word. He would never, like, that's what I pointed out. But Alex, you got anything for Isaac?
I think one of the cool things with him is just seeing how you can build a very successful company and grow it to a certain scale, and then somebody can come in at the entry level position and completely like change the whole course and direction of your company, and in a good way, as long as you know you're open and receptive to listening. So that's one thing I really took away from him, but also the vertical integration and pivoting he's done in his career to make it work, because the company now is it MLM? Yes. Does it still sell skincare products? Yes. But now it's also a travel company, right? And he has over 400,000 agents that work for him across like 44 countries. So if he wants this hotel we're doing, he literally doesn't even have to put it out to the public market for a single night. He could either literally throw his convention for all the different companies, you know, at that location, and it'd be rented out for the year. So I feel like just seeing how vertically integrated you can get and buy, you know, a social network, and by building a network of clients and then expanding into different verticals that everyone can be profitable in is pretty amazing. And then at the same time, the thing that I really respect about what he does is he does things that are going to benefit the people that are working for him. It's not just about him winning, him, you know, increasing his bottom line or his return to his investors. It's about like everybody benefiting and getting, you know, a boost from the pivots that he makes in the company. So I think, yeah, he's an amazing guy, and we're definitely lucky to have him, and hopefully we can get this deal done in Dominican Republic. So if anybody has $3 million, you guys want to come play?
We take Bitcoin, we take, you know, blockchain.
However you want to get it to us, we'll go have a face-to-face with Isaac. We'll go to Arizona.
Yeah, and maybe we can, I don't know if we can pull up a link to one of their channels, but his company is called Secret, spelled as in SEACRET, and there's videos from years ago talking about this, and it's a fascinating story. Just his story and how he came to the States, you know, and how he had to recruit family from back home, and it's just, you guys gotta see it. If I can find a link, I'll drop it in before we check off. But it's funny what like Alex is saying has been more and more like what we've been learning, you know, is it's about the people you're working with and working for, you know, and just recently, since this year, and I think I could speak for Alex and everyone on our team actually, is like, we have so much fun. Like, we're in a penthouse right now. I'll show the guys, Alex. Like, we're in a penthouse.
We're in
just
one of the
working at our
bedrooms
own
right now.
pace, you know, and
Here's a view right now.
I realize what I feel like we already won, you know, like I feel like even though we're not anywhere close to being finished, or we're just getting started, I feel so much gratitude, you know, because when you have like strong people around you who have the same, you know, mindset, same vision, you know, who's willing to wake up at 3 a.m, be in the office by 4 a.m, you know, every morning, like it's a different type of security you feel. And I know exactly what Isaac, why he talks about his community, the family, you know, that, and because there's so much power behind that, you know, like social capital is the most valuable currency I feel that we have. And if we lost everything today, like, we'd be fine, because we have we're surrounded by great people, and there will be opportunities for us. I know, you know, just like we'd be there to help step up to however much we can for any one of you guys, you know, if something were to happen. So that's social capital. And that's, I feel, the most valuable source of currency we have. Just these conversations, you know, sharing insights. So does anyone have any final things for today's coffee talk?
I'll add one in. I think one of the funniest things that Corey and I have ever done is we went into this meeting with Isaac. Okay. And like,
he's one of my best friends. So I've known about him and like have an idea, but like we didn't research him. We didn't do anything. We just knew like, hey, he's real deal. He's built to, he's a billionaire, da 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 da. And then we went into the meeting with him and we had the most amazing meeting. Like it was just so genuine and authentic, and he could tell that we hadn't done the research on him either, because it was the way the conversation would go. He'd be like, and we'd be like, no, we don't know. So, and you can tell when someone's genuine, but what was amazing was the amount of synergies there was between him and between us and our companies, the way we do things, our belief systems, principles. Like it was wow. So after the meeting, Corey and I were talking and just like reflecting on the meeting, and we're like, dude, we are so stupid. Like, why did we not research him prior to going into this meeting to like just be a little more prepared, and have a better understanding of who he is? But then I was thinking about, I was like, bro, but at the same time, I was like, I think that was the best thing we ever did, was not, because everything was just so raw and authentic. And it was truly the first exchange, between us and getting to know each other, to the point where the guy offered to partner with us on the
Yeah.
first meeting. On the first meeting, he's like, guys, like, you guys want to do this? Like, I want to do it. Take some time, think about it, call me tomorrow, let me know. And so that was like, wow, okay, we're doing something right for somebody like him on his status and his level, who is so humble, but still, was willing to, give us an offer right away. Like, it was cool. But I thought it was hilarious that we didn't research him before we went into the meeting. But I don't think we'll ever do that again. We'll probably do a little more research.
Yeah. After we're like, man, we didn't even look him up. Like, what are we doing? Like, could have blown it right there. But like, honestly, like if somebody really cares that much that you didn't know them or didn't research them, they're not the right guy, right? But obviously Isaac he's a real deal. And that's one thing we talk about, is like the real recognizes real quick. Isaac, I think he felt how genuine the conversation was, like, and the dynamic between me and Alex, and and I think you know right away when somebody's solid and you want to work with them. And it's not just him, it's the guys around him, like Alex's good friend. And yeah, it's gonna be quite the journey to see where that goes. At the very least, I know that I will take a meeting with him any day. I'll drop everything and go take a meeting with him, because there's so many lessons that you pull out, of sitting down with someone like him. So, and he's been around. One thing that did surprise me actually was how much he knew about development. He knows way more than me, and I've given this like 12 years of my life, and he's been in the beauty industry, but the second time we went to meet him, because after we left, I was like, oh, dude, you know what surprised me? I was like, man, how much he knew about development, like, and real estate and markets. I was learning from him, and I didn't expect that. I thought this guy was gonna be a cosmetics guy, and he is, but like, he's an entrepreneur and he knows development. And the second time we went to meet with him, I think maybe Alex, you asked, or somebody asked, maybe it was Bob. I think we're talking about the deal in DR, and Bob is there, and it came out where Isaac has been mentored by the same guy that our broker Bob, he knows that guy from General Electric. I forget his name, but so even a guy like Isaac, who has the wealth, has the community, like, he still seeks mentorship, and still has mentorship, especially in areas that is not really his specialty, right? Like real estate. And since then, I can tell right off the bat, like, this guy is the real deal. He's a big time developer, actually. So we'll share more news as that comes about, and hopefully one day we'll have the honor to bring someone like him on and just listen to the lessons. I bet you he would do it, dude. Isaac would definitely come on.
Yeah.
Just for a call. Maybe 30 minutes, we'll ask him. I don't know. Maybe ask yeah, we will see. We will see. That'll
You
be
know
cool.
who we should introduce to each other. We should introduce Ranson and Isaac to each other.
Oh, yeah. 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 We gotta stop talking about it and be about it, bro. Because
Yeah.
there's so many people we keep saying, oh, that person should know this person, like something's there. And then we're like, so let's
Can I just add a little, hey, great job for you guys doing this for 146 of these? So that's to me doing it. So for real, this is awesome. I think it's fantastic. That's it. Like, great
has it
work.
been
Like keeping
146?
this. I don't know. That's what the numbers I thought said. Maybe I
Wow.
misread it, but I was like, damn, you guys are doing it. That's good to see, man. Anyways,
Thank you,
congrats to this whole community. It's awesome.
You know, that means a lot, actually. That means a lot. But yeah, 146. I didn't know we're on 146. I didn't even know when we hit the 100 mark. Kiko wasn't even on. I was like, bro, you missed our 100th episode, you know? But really, it's because like that's not what matters to us. What matters is just, I don't know, talking story with everybody, sharing what we're learning. It also helps me process like these calls. You know, I tell our guys all the time. That's why I want them to start something, or maybe we start something together. It's just I know how much benefit I've gotten from these Friday calls. You know, even if I'm the one kind of speaking, it's helping me process, helping me get comfortable with hearing my own voice. You know, so if I do get invited to speak somewhere, like I'm a little bit more comfortable in my thoughts and how I deliver my messages. You know, so at the very least, I thank you guys, you know, for coming and showing up and kind of listening in, you know, every week and participating. Appreciate it. And I'm truly grateful. So you guys have a great rest of your Aloha Friday and have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys. Aloha, Ben. Thank you, Matt.
1 million, guys. Somebody find me 3
Cheers.
million, please.
Alex needs 3 million.
Just 3. I'll take 4 if you got it.
See you guys.
Mahalo.